It's Wednesday afternoon here on Parliament Hill. Now, question period is just ending as I'm recording this, and in a few minutes the government's going to introduce its motion to restore traditional marriage. And by doing that, of course, it will be making gay marriages illegal, or at least that'll be the process that will start if this vote actually passes the House of Commons. Now, as you know, it's been a controversial one. It's gone on for a long period of time, but we're almost there. Latest news: the Liberals have decided to let their members of Parliament have a free vote. So the Conservatives and the Liberals will be voting free on this. And of course, as an independent, I'm completely free. I'll be making up my own mind. Now, there was a bit of controversy this morning in the Liberal caucus meeting. And in fact, the leader dug in his heels a bit, Mr. Dion, and was a little reluctant at first to actually allow this free vote to happen. But Liberals tell me that at the end of the day that many members took the microphone and made the case for having a free vote, and it was compelling enough that he allowed it, Mr. Dion. And also, of course, Mr. Dion knows that the vote is going to pass. In other words, that the gay issue will not be opened again, that there will actually be no threat at the end of the day. So much for that. Now, for those of you who want to know, the vote will be happening tomorrow about exactly this time, just after question period, 3 p.m. or so on Thursday. So we'll see what happens, but I think we know right now. Now, meanwhile, this morning, there was a press conference here in Ottawa of people who are very much for the defeat of the whole notion of gay marriages. And we had an opportunity to be at that press conference and talk to some of the people who took part of it. Charles McVety, you may know him well, as a televangelist, and the founder of Defend Marriage Canada was there, and also Douglas Cryer, who's with the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada. MPTV had a chance to be at the press conference, listen to their arguments, talk to those individuals in some detail, and we want to bring you this now. The last, I promise you, is the last time we're going to talk about gay marriage here on MPTV. This is it. Enjoy, and then, man, we're done.
After you lose Stephen Harper after this?
Well, I don't think we'll lose Stephen Harper after this, and furthermore, we do not live in a dictatorship where 300 people dictate to the country. We live in a democracy where the people dictate to the 308 members of Parliament, and the people of Canada are not going to let this go, because marriage is too important an institution to just let it evaporate because of the emotions of a few people in Parliament.
If homosexuality is an abomination, yes or no?
Yeah. No, I don't. I've never said that. I've never said that.
Why are you picking on gays?
I'm sorry, I don't think we're picking on gays. We're talking about...
You're talking about how marriages can break down. There should be a study on this. Why do we let this happen? But what about heterosexual relationships? They break down all the time.
The issue here is that the government has come in and redefined heterosexual marriage into something that it's never been before. It's not us doing this. We are reacting to the defilement of our institution. This is a Judeo-Christian institution that has been redefined in a hostile way, with great division in our country. We are not the authors of this. I'm sorry about that, but we're not. From the impact perspective, I guess Belinda Stronach doesn't think that the jobs of marriage commissioners mean anything. I guess she doesn't think that the jobs of teachers that have been severely punished because of their position against same-sex marriage doesn't mean anything. I guess the threat upon clergy to her doesn't mean anything. But we are Canadians, and we do believe that the redefinition of our institution of marriage is something that violates our rights and that has an impact. What about parents who are sending their children to schools to be taught something, same-sex marriage, same-sex relations, when they have not authorized this type of teaching? But this is the impact, the direct impact of redefining this institution.
I would argue that the institution is somewhat of a vague concept, but what sort of real effect does it have on traditional marriages?
Well, it has an effect on education because, of course, now the law is universal; it's for everyone, and so then you must then teach, as an educator, teach same-sex relations, and I do not think that this is something that Canadians want. So there is a direct cause and effect right there. When you teach something, of course, those teachings become a reality in the nation.
Do you believe that the curriculum that teachers have should be developed by themselves, or do you think it should be developed with the government?
I think the people of Canada should participate in the development of curriculum. Excellent.
And what do you think of the overall effects? Like you suggested in your press conference that there were going to be some longer-term effects. Where are you looking for those effects to happen on the institution?
When Canada undermines the institution of marriage, it undermines the institution of family, and that has dire results on society itself, and therefore I think it should be restored.
The separation of church and state by enshrining the traditional definition of marriage, do you think you're encouraging religious views to have control over Canadian laws?
Well, as a person that holds religious views, I hope that in Canada that I'm able to express my own viewpoints in the public square, just like people with other different opinions would express their viewpoints in the public square. In Canada, there is no separation of church and state. It might be something in the States, but what that means there is that there's no state-sponsored religion. So here, I express my religious views. I know that somebody else will have alternative views. At the end of the day, we need to come together and figure out how we can live with each other's different viewpoints and get along.
Reopening the same-sex marriage debate.
Yeah, there's a motion in the House to reopen it.
Oh, well, that's up to Stephen Harper. I'm sure he makes decisions on his own now.
They shouldn't. We both agree they shouldn't. We're listening. I hope
we like it the way
darn
it is.
tootin', yes.
Everybody deserves to be happy.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's absolutely outrageous. I mean, we've decided this is it. We're proud to have it the way it is, and we want to leave it this way.
And now we're going to be behind every other country because every other country is catching up.
What do you think about reopening the same-sex marriage debate?
I don't think they should. I think it's done, it's over, and two gay people can get married.
Non-issue. Like Trudeau said, the nation doesn't have anything to do in your bedroom, so keep it that way.
Posse.
I think it's disgusting that Stephen Harper would even attempt to open up that. Why? Because it's a done deal. It's passed through the Senate, and people want to get on with their lives and get on with, we're in the year 2000, not in the 60s anymore.
Because it's against the Bible, and I believe what the Bible says. So you can take it from there. All right.